Hello, hello. We're back again.
Uh,
I'm Mark. It's work this time. I wonder what happened the last time.
I
Can you
no, I'm
hear
not
me?
sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah.
perfectly well. Yes.
Sorry, I've just set my camera, turn my volume up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the first time I've done this. So on Instagram, so I pressed on the, I think it requested my me to join, and I pressed the button. And a red banner came up saying that your request has been declined. Or so I was
Oh, I see.
like, yeah,
Okay. All right. We're here now. So
yeah.
let's do this. So I'm just going to introduce you, and then
Okay,
I will hand over to you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So
yeah.
today we have Mark Christopher Collins, and Mark is an award-winning writer, director, and actor. He graduated from the British Academy of Stage and Screen Acting. Mark has appeared in a lot of short and feature films, TV programs since 2001. He's a martial arts, combat, and firearm skills. Um, he has, martial arts, combat, and firearm skills, and this
Mm.
enables him to play roles such as Irish boxing coach, American head of CIA, and a Russian mafia gang boss. So, an enforcer. So, Mark is a multi talented, multi skilled individual. But, with every individual, every success, there is a story behind it.
Mm.
There is a process behind it. So I'm just going to let Mark introduce himself and what he does, what he's doing now, and then he goes into just introduce, speak to us about his life story, basically, and then we'll continue the conversation. Over to you, Mark.
Oh, yeah, yeah. As we've sort of basically rounded a lot of it up to that's where I am at the moment. Working as an actor when I can get the work, because it's been quite scarce because of the lockdown and other things, and I actually live on the Isle of Wight, so most of the work is on the mainland or in London, so that's another obstacle I have to overcome. um, but things have started picking up. I've started getting requests of sending people are starting to send me scripts. I've got I think two films coming up that I've got parts in. So it's starting to the wheels are starting to turn again in the film industry. Um, yeah, as you just heard, I live on the Isle of Wight, which I wouldn't have seen myself living in a place like this years ago. I was born in London, brought up in South London, Brixton, and went to. I can't remember loads of stuff actually about my childhood. It's really strange. I remember certain things, certain memories. I remember sort of running down Brixton Hill with my mum, and I used to like climbing on walls, and she used to hold my hand. So I was probably a bit of a. I think might have been a bit of a thrill seeker even at a young age. So I can remember parts of my childhood. I can remember not liking school at all when I first went to school. I used to. I just felt out of place. I felt the teacher didn't like me. It was yeah. It wasn't a very pleasant place for me to be. And I used to get bullied as well at school when I was younger, and that sort of it used to put me off going to school. But as I sort of went through the years, I used to take a lot of time off, and actually, I was actually ill with glandular fever for quite a while. I think it was 1 year in particular. I was off school a lot of the time because of that. But when I was at school, I was usually I was either put in the sort of like the higher classes because I was quite good at English and stuff, most of the subjects, but I also used to get in trouble a lot with the teacher, just for stupid things like take a catapult into school with me and shoot other class members and stuff with it. And so I was put into the naughty class. There was a class that unruly children got put into. So I found myself in there quite a lot. And because of the bullying, there was one day where I turned around and I thought, I'm not going to take this anymore. So I started to fight back. And I realised that I was quite, I wouldn't say, I don't like the word good at fighting, but I realised I could stand up for myself. And yeah, so I sort of went down the path of started boxing at quite a young age. Started training, and that gave me more confidence. So that led to me spending a lot of time actually doing that sort of stuff when I was younger. I sort of found a place where I was accepted in the boxing club, and got to know a lot of people. I spent a lot of time at the local gypsy site. Again, I was accepted. I sort of seemed to be accepted in that environment. So which obviously led to other stuff. Me learning a lot of things, both good and bad. Was there anything else you wanted me to sort of?
No, because
touch on?
Just keeping through the details, I can see.
Well,
you're thinking, what should you share and what should you share? Basically, I'm having this conversation with you because I realized that, men's mental health is something that it's always put on the sideline. It's like, you're strong, you're a man, get on with it. You don't really need, you don't need to show your emotions, and that is detrimental to men's mental well-being. And I wanted you to come and just speak about your journey and how you were able to kind of transition from those experiences, the bullying, not being accepted, not feeling part of, and coming out of that and the person that you are today. It's a process, isn't it? And there are many men that will listen to this conversation, and other people that will listen to a conversation and might be going through the same experience, and also to kind of link it to your faith and how that was played an important role, in terms of your journey. So that's basically the intention of this conversation.
Touching on the part where, I don't know where I learned it from, but I learned that you had to be tough. You couldn't show emotions and show vulnerability by crying and I sort of brought that into my adulthood, where it sort of was more so I emphasised on that more, especially mixing with like the gypsies, and you have to be you have to be like the tough alpha male to survive in those environments. So I found that I did. There was times that I did cry, but it was behind. I would never cry. It was behind closed doors. Even my first wife, I can't remember crying in front of her very much. The only sort of time that sticks out was when we lost a child. We had a young girl, Lacey. She was born prematurely, and she died, and my arms was holding her when she had her last breath, and that I just broke down at that point. And I remember being very angry as well after that. I didn't believe in God at the time,
Mm.
But I can remember feeling angry at God I didn't believe in when I look back.
Mm.
The way it affected me, I was definitely for like a month. I just can remember, even if someone, it was a nightmare really. I can remember, just being cut up by someone in the car, and I jumped out. I went, thank God I didn't, but I wanted to do some real harm to them. They managed to escape, drive off and escape. But those just silly incidents is like that where it's sort of, I overreacted to situations with aggression, and but there was it's strange since it wasn't until I came into a relationship with God really that I was able to sort of search inside myself and look at those emotions and look at why I had been I hadn't let those emotions. I not wanted to cry in front of people. There was one incident. This was just before. It was sort of leading up to the point where God stepped in and called me. I was in a BBC Two program called Confidence Lab. I just got there's actually a book about it. They wrote about it. It's called I don't know if you can see it. Confidence in 7 days.
Okay.
And there's a chapter in there about me.
Fantastic.
It was a BBC Two program, and they were trying to help me. I do like some of the top specialists from around the world. It was like an experiment to see if they could give people confidence in different areas.
Okay.
I think they sort of chose me because of, at the time, I sort of dipped in and out of different careers over the years, if you can call them careers. But at the time, I was a bricklayer, and they thought it was, and I'd started writing poetry.
Okay.
So they thought that was a really strange contrast, unusual. So they decided to have me on this program. So I was one of 12 people from all over the UK to go on this TV series. I mean, they gave me lots of coping, if you like, mechanisms and stuff and it was almost like how I see it was like a religious thing type of, where as in I had to do certain things like a ritual almost to feel confident. They gave me all these keys and that, but it was still an effort. I found it an effort to do it. So I found within 6 months I sort of started regressing, going back to the way I was, the way. But it was after that I shortly got born again. Sort of about another, So it was. I was on we recorded the TV program in 2000, and it was shown on TV in March 2001. I think it was 2001 it was shown. Anyway, I got born again in September. November 2001. Yeah, and then that was when the real change started happening. Yeah, from that point. So there's lots of these courses and things that can help. I mean, it did help me for a while, and I think it helped some of the other people on the course. I've just recently been in touch with one of the guys that's moved to Australia. I managed to find him. I think it was on Facebook. I thought I'd look for him and had a conversation with him. He's managed to change his life.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm rambling a little bit. You might have to call me back on.
Would you say that your experience as a child, did you feel loved as a child?
I knew I was loved, but I don't think I felt it really. My parents were absent a lot of the time, and it's not. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in their lives. I sort of now know. So I've obviously spoke to them about it, and a lot of healing had to take place as well with my parents. But yeah, there was a lot of issues, obviously, that they were having personally, which obviously affected me maybe more than I think, because I've spoken to my brother about it, and a lot of the stuff he can't remember, the stuff that went on. So he sort of seemed a bit shielded from it somehow. I don't know how that happened. And he sort of went on a different path to me. I mean, he's always, always sort of laugh and say that he's more of a Christian than me, but he's not. He's not born again, but he's like his lifestyle, the way he lives, and he's just like a generous, kind, loving person. More sort of than me. I'd say more naturally. But obviously, mine's like now supernatural in a way. it's
I like that one, supernatural. But do you think that because of what was going on at home, do you think that's what drew you into street life, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was looking for probably, to belong somewhere, yeah. And plus, I think I've always been a bit of a thrill seeker. So I used to do like boxing and martial arts, and also motorcycle racing, anything to do with fast cars and motorcycles. I mean, I was driving illegally on the road when I was 14 years old. I think the legal age is like 16 or 17, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I was, again, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I was stealing cars and things, at a very young age, getting into sort of a lot of criminal activity. And I found that, I don't want to say it, but I found that I could do it, and I seemed to get away with it as well. Even throughout, as I grew up, a lot of my friends ended up in prison, and I managed to somehow miss going to prison. I mean, I got arrested a number of times, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, but I could see like grace in my life even back before I was born. Before it was like it was planned. There's a number of occasions where I could tell you I should have died, and it was just, at the time I thought, how did I not get killed then? But I sort of realise now why. But it's so it's interesting looking back.
So would you say that what put you on the path to where you're at right now? Would you say it was because of your faith, or would you say something else happened? In your story you spoke about the point where you were given the opportunity where the actor never turned up, and you were asked to. Do you think something happened to now kind of change the trajectory of your life?
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint what it was, if you can?
Yeah, that was that point when I surrendered, if you like, my life to God. Yeah, to that at that point, then everything sort of turned on its head. There was a lot of conflict actually at that point with my first marriage, and everything seemed to go pear shaped basically. It seemed to everything seemed to crash around me. My marriage. A lot of things happened at that point. I actually got asked by a guy that ran Revelation TV, Howard Condor. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I went to see him. He asked me to come in because he met me soon after, within days of me being born again. He met me. He asked me to come in to the station before they went live the first time and pray for the organisation for the TV programs that were going to go out. And then he asked me. He wanted to interview me on the program, but I declined at that point. I said to him, I'll think about it, but then I decided my testimony wasn't that great at that point, so there's no point in me. Yeah, I thought I'm not going to give. Yeah, I didn't see any point in it, so I declined. And I think it was the best thing at the time, because I've seen a lot of like people who've had similar backgrounds to me. They've sort of given a testimony on, say, a TV program, and they've suddenly been like taken off on a journey where that's what it's about, their testimony and stuff, and I don't know, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't feel that was the right thing for me. At that point. So and I didn't even think about the acting side of things or really filmmaking. I didn't even. I started writing. So I started writing this poetry. When I look at the back of the poetry, it was almost I was searching for. Yeah, you could say I was searching for God at that point. I didn't really know it, but I didn't know it. Yeah, I wasn't. But then when I started to believe in God, then he reminded me about certain points in my life where I'd actually prayed, and that so he brought me back to those places. And for instance, I was given a Gideon's Bible when I was at school, and I always wondered what had happened to that, because I remember like playing with it with my friends, and we tore pages out and made them into aeroplanes and threw them across the classroom. But and then I was at a friend's. He's got a tyre shop, and he's a car breaker. So he was in a similar. I used to have a car breakers yard years ago, and we had sort of similar backgrounds. He's a little bit older than me, but I was sitting in his office having a cup of tea, and there was behind the counter. There's some shelves underneath the counter, and I was looking, and there's always things covered in dust, like bits of cars, car bits, and I noticed this little book, and it looked like one of those Gideon Bibles. And I said to Ken, I said, "Oh, I didn't know you read the Bible, Ken. It looks like you've got one of those Bibles under there." I said, "Is it okay? I'll have a look at it." So I picked it up and brushed all the dust off it, opened it up, and it had my name in there. So I'd written my name in this book, and it suddenly found me again all these years later.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've got that. I'll carry that with me. So usually in my top pocket, my coat. So I've always. Yeah, so I was like reunited with that. It was really, it was like
interesting.
And he couldn't work out how he got there. I couldn't. It was just one of those, those things that happens that you can't really explain. But I've had lots of incidents like that. Yeah.
So would you say that in terms of men's mental health, and to have because I think there is a state of emergency actually, and I think that I don't know what the statistics are, I have to remember it, but I did look at the statistics that there were more men commit suicide.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, than women. It's
terrible,
and sometimes I look from a perspective that there is a culture of silence.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I felt suicidal, going through my breakup of my. It was only, I think, if God hadn't reached out to me at that point, I didn't have that relationship. Even with that relationship, I felt suicidal. I don't know what I'd have done. Yeah. So I think it's a place of despair for some people. They've got nowhere to go. They don't know where to go with it. I mean, I had this thing where I felt like I was falling down a dark well, and I didn't know how to get out of it. That's how I felt. And I had a hand reach in and grab me and pull me out. That was They say I got out. So I don't know what I've done, say, otherwise. Even at that point, I said I knew it was not the right thing to do, but I was drinking heavily to try and knock myself out because I'd been made homeless as well at that point. So I was sleeping rough, sleeping when I could get in on a friend's floor. I remember sleeping. He didn't really know me that well, but he was a friend of a friend, and he said to me, "Look, you can't be out on the street. It's too cold tonight. Come in and sleep on my floor." So I literally slept on his front room floor. But I remember drinking like cans of Tennent's, like not one. I downed about 6, one after the other. And normally that should knock anyone out, but it didn't. It was like it didn't affect me.
Mm.
I felt like God speaking to me then, saying, "You don't need this. Don't rely on this. Rely on me." Yeah.
Mm.
But since also touching on the mental health side of things, my daughter brought something up, and she asked me to go if I would go and see a psychiatrist. This was quite a few years ago, because there was an incident that happened on the ferry. I was taking her somewhere, and a situation got out of control, and I lost my temper with someone, and it actually frightened me in a way that I felt this way towards this other person. I'm supposed to be now a person that believes in God, a God of love that loves everyone. But I wanted to do this guy some harm. I felt justified as well because of something that happened. I won't go into detail, but I lost my temper with him, and it was in front of my daughter, and she, I think, frightened her. And because she said something to me, I sort of snapped back at her, and it wasn't very nice. And she didn't speak to me for a little while after that. And she sort of said, "I think you need to go and see a psychiatrist or something." Not right. And my wife was saying, she said that she thought I needed to be tested for autism. So went to see the doctor, went through the procedure, went to all these autism tests. I actually done a test online first of all, and I was sort of quite high up on I was coming back in as high up on the autism spectrum. So we went to the specialist. They came back with a report on me saying that I was borderline, but they couldn't diagnose me as autistic. But what had been flagging up was ADHD.
I see.
So I went to see another specialist, ADHD specialist, and he after getting visits and all the paperwork and that, he came back. Me and my wife went to see him, and he said most men sitting in front of me with the level of ADHD that Mark's got, they haven't got women with them. Women can't cope with them. He said so. He said it's basically a miracle that you're married to him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I had this diagnosis of, but yeah, I try not to take that as a label because and I didn't realise obviously there was things going on in my childhood which I didn't understand probably. But it sort of helped me understand a little bit, why sort of my behavioural side of things by having this diagnosis, and it helped my family as well sort of accept it a little bit more that this is why I'd been like that, and
this is, you know why? Because all through the childhood and those experiences that you've been through, and if there was proper diagnosis at that point, the educational system would have picked it up and said, this is what's going on, and maybe get the support that you need. Although I think things have slightly changed now. I think things are getting better, and I think they are they are recognizing it a lot more. That doesn't determine who the person's going to become. It's just maybe highlights certain areas that they need support with. And so, yeah, that is very, very an interesting one. That incident kind of triggered this whole diagnosis of ADHD. But you didn't even expect that was going to come up.
No.
Wow.
No, I just I know I've been sort of, I say it, I call them, different. I've been sort of joking, say I'm special, because you're special needs.
You are special.
but it's just so it just I suppose it sort of explained a few things, but I say I won't take that label on myself as in I just sort of see, because I believe there's certain things about my nature and that can be used, for good, which is
definitely.
That's what I want to try and turn around for good.
Yes.
Allow God to turn them around for good. Not.
Yes.
Because sorry, I'm just gonna put my glasses on. I can see a few comments on the thing. I think is it? Oh no, I can't. That's better. Yeah, I can see clearly now. So I'll see my daughter.
Is that your daughter?
Yeah, my sister. One of my daughters is watching. Yeah.
Okay, one of your daughters. Yeah.
Bless her. Yeah, I love her.
Hello, Claire.
That's Claire's my sister.
Oh, okay. Hello, Claire.
And Insty, Tisha is my daughter. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Someone says God can definitely use it for good. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And he is using it because, the work you're doing now, and your life now is a total transformation. And God is using it. Even our conversation here today, someone is going to listen to it and it's going to, help them and encourage them to continue on.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope it does help someone. If it helps one person, that's I mean, I'll obviously always encourage people. I mean, my family know. I try not to bash them or browbeat them so much now, but when I first got born again, I was a bit, I think I was a little bit over the top stuff, and it was such a big, I suppose, change for me, and it was such a relief in a way for me. There was a relief about it that I didn't have to. I call it I had a Damascus experience. I didn't have to carry on wearing that mask of being sort of. I don't know how. I know a lot of people did see me as. I know my children have seen a lot of stuff they shouldn't have seen. They've seen me as aggressive, and I felt like I had to do certain things to be the breadwinner. For quite a while, money was my god. I used to do whatever it took to earn money. I'm not proud of it. It was just the way I was, the way I saw things as well, and having a young family as well. Sort of, I just felt like I needed to provide for them, and I didn't want to be. Is it poor? I think I didn't want to be poor, struggling, for things. I wanted to have nice things, So, and I saw that as the only way of getting those things at that point. But obviously, I see things completely different now. And my values have changed as well. It's no longer about those things. It's relationships and helping people are a lot more valuable to me. And I want to do more to help people as well. I don't know how I can do it, but hopefully the the film stuff may give me a platform to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
A vessel, if you like, to do that. But yeah, that's up to.
So.
I'm responsible. But yeah, it's up to God as well. I don't, sort of try and walk hand in hand and. Yeah.
So where you're at now? Where you at now? I know you've got some works in the pipeline. You don't have to give us the details, but
the film. I've been struggling a little bit recently, but there's a film I want to make. The first feature film, because I've made 3 short films that were reasonably successful. So I thought the next step is to make a feature film, and I'm still there's an area where I'm still developing the script, but in the meantime I'm putting other stuff into place and buying lots of props. I sort of roughly know where I'm going with it and direction. I'm trying to get other people on board to help. But yeah, it's a struggle. Yeah, because it obviously takes finances.
Is it in terms of you need investors to come on?
Investors is one thing. Yeah, I have got a few investors already. Yeah, but I'm not going to. I think a lot of people sort of emphasise on the money. I think the money will come. I truly believe that as I do my part in, continue writing the scripts, I do a lot of the work in the background. I've already seen finances sort of people are offering. Because I've got some financial backers in sort of waiting. They've pledged money to the film, so it's starting to get there. It's starting to take shape. It's just there's certain things I've been let down on, but it's okay. The right person will come along. I don't want to that's the trouble. I don't want to be religious about things. So I don't.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't want to sort of put everything emphasis on God all the time, because we're on the earth. We've got to take responsibility for
definitely
a lot of things we do.
Definitely. So what's your perspective on self-love?
I mean, it's funny, really. I think for me, self-love is like every now and again I might go and have a massage or treat myself to something, like or a meal, or that sort of, or the other. I mean, for instance, last week Tracy bought me. It's like a triple supercar driving experience. So I got to go around the track because I still like going fast, but obviously in the right place now on the racetrack. So I had this experience where I drove. I chose 3 cars. So I chose a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and an Atom to go around the track in. So that was sort of me, if you like, enjoying myself, and that was self-love in a way. So I think I've got time for like whatever you enjoy, and I mean, I actually enjoy film making, most of it, and the acting. There's even though there's a part of it I don't enjoy, there is enjoyment with it, and there's like fulfillment, I suppose, more than enjoyment. I feel feel like I'm doing what I should be doing in some ways. So obviously I've missed the boat with the car racing and bike racing now. It's young man's sport.
Yeah, so I mean, through your films, you're telling a lot of stories, important stories, stories that can kind of help people engage,
Yeah.
the audience and do many, many things. It's quite an incredible thing to gift to have, I believe. So one question that I usually ask my guest is, what do you want your legacy to be? What is your legacy when you're done? When your time is up? What do you want to be remembered for?
It's an interesting one because I thought about this. Do I want to be known as a good filmmaker, or I mean, that'd be okay. I think really, but even I've helped one person, I think, fulfill their destiny. That'd be I'd like to do it with more people. I'd like to do it with for my children, help them. But yeah, if I help one person, that'd be me done, if you like. That's I think so.
Fantastic.
There's obviously the side of it, about heaven and stuff, because obviously I don't think this is the end of it. Again, I'd like to see a lot of people in heaven that I've crossed paths, and lots of people that I haven't, maybe that are there because of someone I've spoken to, or it's just
yes,
that'd be the ultimate, I suppose, legacy.
Fantastic. So Mark, it's so good to have you on here. Mark and I work, we're part of a team, and we a production team for Life Insights. And Mark is a lovely, lovely, lovely guy, and I just wanted him to come on here just to share with us while we're focusing on men's mental health, just to show the different challenges that men go through, and rising out of it, coming out of those experiences. So Mark, I'm really honored to have you on here today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say that if anyone wants to speak to me, they can message me, or I'm quite happy to talk about issues, to do with like marriage breakup. So many things that I've been through that we haven't really touched on, I suppose. But I've got a lot of, say, personal experience that I can, maybe help. If there's one person that wanted to talk, I'm happy to talk to them. And help them in any way I can.
So I'll post. Somebody said thank you for sharing your experiences. So I'll post your page on there, and then can they just message you via Instagram? Okay.
Message me Instagram. On Facebook.
I know you're on Twitter as well. I think I'll put all your handle. I'll put your Twitter page and also your Twitter and Facebook as well.
Whatever.
So if people want to contact you, they can. Talk to you. Yes.
Definitely happy to.
So thank you everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. This lovely Saturday afternoon. Mark, chat to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go out on the deck chair now, I think.
Okay then. Bye. Bye.
Bye.